Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be taking you through old-time pottery. This will be your first trip here this year with us. It'll be my umpteenth time because they're a little late putting things out this year. Before we go in, I want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, please check out the link to my Patreon page in the description below. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and head on in. And the first thing I see is that we're greeted with some inflatables. Now, they don't look overly dissimilar to what they've had last year, but I do notice offhand there aren't quite as many. So they do have good pricing on inflatables. I mean, it's nothing cheap, it's nothing high, it's just kind of middle of the road. And I think, unfortunately, that's kind of like what we're going to experience throughout the store today. It's a lot of nice Halloween merchandise. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's stuff that we see everywhere. I don't know if they have their own brands or not, but if they do, I didn't really notice. So let's take a look at some of the inflatables. I have this inflatable, as a matter of fact. I've had it for a few years now. I think it had a little bit of a different pumpkin bag that it was holding. So again, I feel like all of this is samey, except for this guy on the end. Look at that upside down pumpkin on the bottom. And when you compare it to the box, that is not what it is supposed to look like. So I'm a little leery about the quality of some of this merchandise, for one, but two, why would they make the display out of one that's clearly and obviously defective? So let's just take a look at these last couple of inflatables here. I do think that this Scooby-Doo dog is really cute. We have seen in some other stores where, like for instance, the Harry Potter franchise is putting out the whole group of characters. I would love to see an inflatable group of characters for the entire Scooby-Doo gang. Would totally buy that. And I like that little mantle scarf. I don't know how many lit up mantle scarves I've seen on the shelves, so I will take back a little bit about what I said just earlier. That was kind of unique, but maybe it's not. Maybe I've just never noticed it before because I do tend to skim quickly past the light up merchandise. In fact, here is some outdoor light up merchandise with the solar powered decor. My yard is so shady, none of this stuff ever works, so I can't vouch for whether or not that stuff lights up pretty well. But they do have several different designs. I know it's a little hard to see there. Over on the other side, we've got some, looks like ornaments of all different designs. Pumpkins, Nightmare Before Christmassy skull, regular skull, and so forth. Then we've got some more yard decor. I love that little cat with the crazy eyes and the hat. That was adorable. And then they have, of course, have pillows as well. They did have this giant bin full of them, although I think most of them are repeats. There are, I don't know, eight designs or so. I didn't really notice a huge selection. But they do have a big selection of these little tchotchke type decor items, little pumpkin heads and whatnot. They have lots and lots of this type of stuff, and it kind of just makes me wonder if this is the stuff that is just very easy and cheap to produce and ship. I mean, it's all very small like this. Imagine how much of this stuff you can fit in a crate from China, and that is a little depressing because there's nothing that really stands out. There's no big sort of showpiece pieces. Well, okay, I take that back. We will see a couple of pieces that are large. There's a spoiler alert in the background of this shot here. We'll get to that in just a minute. They do have a few light up items, and look, it is actually labeled old time pottery, so I did misspeak on that, but I think a lot of this stuff might be, I mean, it's all like these books, we've seen these for so many years. It might be branded old time pottery, but clearly it's either the same maker that just throws different labels on it, or we're replicating what is already out there, because I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but again, we've seen all of this stuff or similar stuff everywhere. All right, we've got a couple of potion bottles here. I like the labels on those at least. I will say at least I do like the sort of iconography of the merchandise in this area with the skulls and the crows. Well, okay. I was going to say it's kind of spooky Halloween, and then we get into the sort of cutesy little trucks with pumpkins in it and the little wedding couple driving their car. A little bit of that mixed in. Of course, we have our gnomes. We won't talk about those. And there's a Jack Skellington, of course. He's everywhere. But my point being, if you can get past the things like I'm here for the booze that we know we all hate, And what's up, my witches? You can find occasional really cool stuff like that pumpkin. Look at his face on there. And then these skulls that have like little mini skeletons, made up of mini skeletons. That is amazing. Some lantern holders. Again, it's kind of hit or miss in some of these. But look at this side. I don't think I've ever seen that sort of angled arrow like that before on one of these Halloween items. So that was pretty neat. And I like this little 3-pack of stones. I have been keeping my eye out for some interesting stones this year to add to my graveyard. And just wait, I've got an upcoming store I want to show you with some ridiculously priced tombstones. You're going to die. All right, so we've seen that or similar in other stores. Most notably, I think last time in my Bed Bath & Beyond store, the same thing happened. I think you hear the music. It looks like it's supposed to rock or something, but it just doesn't. Maybe it's sitting on something, part of the packaging or whatnot, that's preventing it from doing that. But then why would it have a try me button? I don't know. But it looks like it could be cool otherwise. Over here, we've got some more lawn stakes, and I think more importantly, an ugly pumpkin of the month contender there. All right, and well, look at these tiny little lawn stakes. That seems like it's kind of the thing you would see at the Dollar Tree. All right, we've got some tin pumpkins, and I like that little Frankenstein there holding his little black cat. That's really cute. A little mummy. I think he should dance, maybe. I didn't try him. We've seen him everywhere before. Here were those skulls that we saw in the background of that other shot, and some really large pumpkins as well. Those are pretty neat. We've got some hand towels over here on an end cap. Lots of different designs to choose from, and it looks like a couple of table runners as well. All right, past the spider webbing is some of these sort of 12-inch skeletons with all sorts of designs. I'm not sure what you really do with those. If you buy that sort of thing, leave me a comment below. Because, you know, I'm typically pointing out how irritated I am by less than life-size props. So, like a 3-foot skeleton there. I mean, I will admit I do have a 3-foot butler in my house, but I did just replace him this year with a 6-foot one. Stay tuned for that video. In the meantime, we've got these sort of hanging props. I like that those 2 dolls kind of looked good and evil. You could buy whichever or both you want to make an interesting little display. A lot of these little try me buttons aren't working, so sorry about that. I do like that sort of gray bat there. Both of these bats actually look pretty awesome. I think I have considered that bat in the past. All right, and we've got some more just sort of fall-themed Halloween and pumpkin merchandise. I suppose if you wanted to spell your name out of pumpkins that all look all the same, except a couple of different colors, they've got you covered here at Old Time Pottery. Look at that sort of neon rainbowy skull garland. That's unique. But they do have all these sort of wreaths and tinselly, glittery things to decorate your home with. Certainly would make it for a festive party. There is a door banner. And then, of course, if you want to make it more of a spooky party, as I absolutely would prefer, you can decorate with some ghosts and whatnot. That one's 7 feet long. That's not too bad. And then we've got your creepy sort of Reaper skeletons, white and red. Neither of which I'm able to show you what they do today, but I'm sure it just sort of has eyes that light up. And we got a little banner for outside that's kind of cutesy. And that kind of brings us more to the fall merchandise. We've got some pumpkin bags, some fall pillows. They do have a number of, pumpkin-y products. So if you're not just decorating spookily for Halloween, but need some pumpkins for the entire season, they've got you covered here as well. Let's take a quick peek at some of the fall merchandise that are on the shelves. They do have, again, quite a bit of it. I do like the candle selection here, honestly. They're usually pretty cheap with a good variety. All right, if you didn't want to spell your name out in pumpkins, you can do it with these fall leaf letters or candy corn. And that will bring us to the end of our old-time pottery adventure for this year. Stay tuned as we explore more stores as we get closer to Halloween, do some DIYs, product reviews, and more. So make sure you're subscribed. Till next time, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and happy haunting.